Learning on the go was the hardest thing for Dylan and I. It's great because it keeps you on your toes, but we just didn't know enough about the industry and didn't have anyone helping us, which was a hard thing because we looked at a lot of people around the world who had a producer, had a cameraman, had editors, but we were just doing it all ourselves. So, yeah, we probably missed the mark a few times with not knowing enough.
Yeah.
But that's just life and that's learning.
Man, this is what I love about the podcast. There's so much I want to jump on that you've just said. Like, firstly...
Jump on it all.
Yeah, I will. I'm not even over imposter syndrome, and I don't know if I ever will be. And I don't know. It's something that like I'd love to get a hold of, but...
You need to see a psych, man.
I am. Yeah.
Just to iron out a few things.
Yeah.
Wait, you are?
Yeah, I
yeah.
So years ago, I saw someone.
And I didn't say that as a joke. That was genuine, like.
But it was so bluntly said that I liked how humorous it could have come across. So it was like it was good advice, but also I found it funny. But genuinely, like, maybe not for the imposter syndrome because I think that I don't know if that's addressable. I feel like that's just like unavoidable in this industry. But I've seen someone before for anxiety. Felt like I conquered it for a little bit. And now I'm like, I got a bit of burnout at the end of last year, so I'm rolling the sleeves up and going again. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I feel it's hard. It's hard to, like, there's always a bigger fish. There's always stuff you can improve on. When I make content, I've never made a perfect video. Like, I'll watch a video and I go, oh man, that graphic should have come in earlier. And that framing wasn't right. And I cut that off a little bit earlier. So, you know, maybe I've made videos that I think are a 9.2, but there's never been a 10. And that's just through time pressure or maybe some budget.
There never will be.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you like, and I'm no psych, but like you need to find comfort in a 9.
Well,
which is hard.
I love analogies, and it's probably analogies that have kept me going, but Damien Hardwick / Craig McRae, Embrace Imperfections.
Yeah.
And there's another quote. Oh man, we're getting into real podcast territory here, but there's another quote. It's to be great, you got to be consistently good.
Yeah, yep.
But like the imposter syndrome comes from, like we look at Hamish and Andy or anyone who's been successful and you go, fuck, they were perfect the whole time. But then I think of Hamish and Andy, they were on drive radio 2 hours a day, 5 days a week for a number of years. There would have been 5-minute bits of content that they would have done, chucked up and gone, fuck, that was a bit shit, but it just got us through to the hour.
Yeah.
So once again, it's not about being perfect every time. It's about to be great. You just have to keep showing up and be at a consistently good level. But have you managed the imposter syndrome a little bit more, or since like losing the identity of the pod, has it crept up or flared up anymore recently?
No, I've grown to understand it, and I guess as I've gotten older, just reflected a lot more, and I understand, like, the more people I've met within the industry, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of dickheads who are just very unlikable, different to what they are on camera, but majority of people you meet, and Grace and I always laugh about this because I always just say I'm a normal person, right? And she always goes, oh, you and this normal person crap. Like, it just sounds so like such a cop-out. But most people you meet within the industry are normal people who are just doing well at what they do.
Well, I think that's where some of the imposter syndrome comes from is I do feel like a normal person.
Yeah.
Like someone the other day said, oh, I didn't think you'd notice this because you've got a big following. And I'm like, mate, I've clawed for 10 years and sort of got 10 odd thousand a year. Like it's not like I woke up and I had 100,000 and I felt like oh great, I've made it. It's like, because you sort of get 10,000 a year, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like a big following. But someone said that the other day and I'm like, oh, I do not view it like that at all. But yeah, I think because I do feel normal, I walk into rooms and there are some people in the creative industry that like carry themselves like artists and rock stars, and they've got a bit of aura. And because I do, like, I love my craft and I love creating the content I create, but when I walk into rooms, I just feel like the bloke from Geelong.
Yeah.
One thing that reassured me, because I would sit there and I'd be like, man, I am not Eddie Maguire when I walk into rooms. I don't feel like I carry a presence. I don't feel like, and I don't want to. Like, I'm not going to try and puff the chest out. It's just not who I am. And then I'd second guess, like, does that mean I'm not really cut out to be this bulletproof media performer? You know, there's comment sections that get to me. I get disappointed when content doesn't do well. But Dan, who's on the DOS pods, and I hope he lets me say this, but he worked at Channel 10 for a while, and he said when Rove would walk into the room, everyone knew it. And that's that sort of person I think is more consistent of creators and like famous people. Like there's a bit of presence, a bit of aura. But he said on the flip side, when Sam Pang walks into a room who's equally as famous, equally as talented, he's quite quiet, unassuming, just goes about his business. And then when the lights are on, he turns it on. And that was the first time that someone in the entertainment business I could sort of relate to. Like I feel like I walk into a room pretty unassuming. You know, you put a light and a camera on and I'll rip it to shreds and try and be as entertaining as I can, but I don't walk in needing to prove myself before that point. But that's where a lot of the imposter syndrome had come from. It's like I couldn't identify other people in the industry that I felt like I could relate to.
Yeah, but I think the funny thing is there would be a lot of people exactly the same as you that you just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like they would feel the same. And I'm the same on a, I guess, smaller scale. Like I'm an anxious person. I might not come across that way in any way, shape or form, but I've had many moments in my life where I've broken down, anxiety attacks, stuff like that. And it's like, it's not easy, but it's also once you get that sense of belonging, which I feel like you should have because you do deserve it. And like, but you might not think that yourself or...
Well, sometimes you feel like you've tricked them. It's like, people have watched because you edited out your shit parts, or people like there is an innate sort of feeling that's like, they keep saying your parody song was good, but you just rhymed car with bar. Like that's not that impressive. Like there is that sort of critic within yourself.
Yeah, but you're creating entertainment content for people who are watching it and enjoying it.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it's hard, I know, but like you're listening to the 1%, and that's what's fucking with your head.
Yeah.
Right? And then like you were mentioning how Hamish and Andy were perfection, right? For a lot of like their gap years and content that they produced at their peak, they might have thought that the day was a 6.5 out of 10.
100%.
But then the power of editing makes it look like it was the best day ever. It was awesome. Everything looks slick, schmick, ready to go.
Yep.
But they might have thought, that was a bang average day. So, yeah, I don't think anyone in the world is walking into a room doing something and going, that was 10 out of 10. Maybe there is, but I think they're sociopaths or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But, in general, like, I think you're completely, like, valid in everything you feel, but I think you're too hard on yourself.
Yeah, and something, and I appreciate that. I think it's just a trait in like people who do this, because unless you are like, because I sort of pick apart everything that I do for a living to make it better, and I think the content gets better off the back of that. But a negative byproduct of being a perfectionist or trying to make something as good as it can be is you notice the imperfections in yourself. But yeah, it doesn't like weigh me down that often, but it does creep in every now and again.